sometimes, we just want to take a nice break from those long, arduous RPG titles we love so much. It's always nice to be able to sit back and relax with the level of seriousness dialed back just a bit, and it's even more of a treat when it's with some familiar faces from a beloved franchise. Chocobo Racing for the PlayStation is one such title. Released in 1999 internationally, this formulaic kart racer brings simplistic racing to the world of Final Fantasy. The game borrows themes and elements from the core series of Final Fantasy games, mostly 1 through 6. There are 5 modes players can choose from: Story Mode, Time Attack, Grand Prix, Versus, and Relay. Most of your time will be spent in Story Mode unlocking various things, so I'll start there. In Story Mode, players are guided through the story of Chocobo Racing, which is narrated by none other than Final Fantasy's most recurring character, or at least by a guy with the most recurring character name, Sid. The story is presented by an on-screen version of a pop-up book, which is a nice touch, I think. I won't go into detail on the plot itself other than to say that it's very cute and centers around a chocobo and Mog the Moogle from Final Fantasy VI as they go around meeting various characters and collecting crystal shards. Players who complete the story mode are given a score based on their performance and can use that score as points to customize a character of their choice, and can use these custom characters in all of the other game modes by loading them up from the memory card. This is a pretty cool aspect as you can choose the character's color, their parameters of course, and also name them. Now, this isn't the only thing you can get out of story mode. You can also unlock a few extra tracks as well as some characters such as Cloud and Squall. Once you've spent some time in the story mode, you'll want to use your earned unlockables in the game's other modes. Versus and Time Attack are self-explanatory, so I won't talk about those, but Grand Prix and Relay are both pretty interesting. In the Grand Prix mode, you will race computer-controlled opponents in 4 selected tracks of your choice. You kind of see where they tried to take it a step away from Mario Kart here by giving you just a bit more customization. Not only can you customize your racer's attributes and abilities, but you can also create your own GP circuits by choosing the 4 tracks you'll be racing on. Relay mode gives just as much customization to the player as it lets you choose your team of 3 as well as each of their abilities, and the game gives you the option of having the computer choose their own team, or you can choose it for them. While racing, you can get pickups, just like in most other titles of this genre, that give you powers that will help you disrupt the other racers. In this game they're called Magic Stones, and can be activated by pressing the R1 button. These Magic Stones can be stacked by collecting up to 3 rather than using them immediately, if you so choose. This can be game-changing as any ability can be powered up. This is one of the game's strengths, I think, as it adds more options to your arsenal as it basically fuses multiple weapons into one. If you've played Mario Kart, imagine the green, red, and blue shells all being one weapon that can be powered up by collecting 3 of one projectile power-up. Green shell being level 1, red shell being level 2, and blue shell being level 3. The Koopa shell's corollary in this game would be Thunder, Thundara, and Thundaga, but the game has a variety of other really neat power-ups as well. One of my favorite being the Death Power, which causes a death counter to appear above the head of the racer nearest to you. This counts down from 10 to 0 before that racer explodes and gets placed back on the track. That racer can, however, bump other racers, passing the ailment on to someone else, including the racer who inflicted it. The tracks in this game are very colorful, but the design of the tracks are not that great. The controls are not the best either. There's just something about this game that feels like it was an attempt to just cash in on the whole kart racing boom of the late 90s caused by Mario Kart and the Crash Bandicoot racing game. Still though, the game is cute and can be enjoyed if not for anything, at least for the music, which is all Uematsu original work reworked by Kenji Ito to be shorter and more bouncy. A lot of the tracks had fitting music that had me bopping along as I raced throughout the world of Final Fantasy with my flying black mage. And the ending song that played as the credits rolled really caught me off guard as being very beautiful. Fitting for a Final Fantasy game, but kind of odd for a cutesy kart racer. When this game released, it received very average reviews, and I can see why. This game is not deserving of great praise, and I really can't say that it holds up too well. It's fun to mess around with, sure, but I feel like if you're gonna play one of the Chocobo spin-off games, you should probably go with the dungeon games. Which, by the way, there's a cool preview video of Chocobo Dungeon that is accessible from this game's title screen. The preview is mostly FMV and has very little actual gameplay, which is a bit misleading, but whatever. The verdict on Chocobo Racing is that it's very middle of the road. I think I'd only recommend it to those who are big Final Fantasy fans who are interested in seeing the full history of the franchise. There's just too many other competent racers out there to even bother with this one.